Okay, some opening comments. Good win for the guys. I want to commend Coach Gill, fantastic person. Has a good football program at Liberty. Those guys are well coached. Got good players and are going to win a bunch of games. So was really impressed with those guys and the attitude that they had and the way that they played. They got good players and they're going to win a bunch of ball games. So I really want to do it. We really want to commend them. I thought our guys played pretty good. Offensively, I think we made strides. 0 turnovers for the second straight game. I think everybody's pretty fired up about that. The completion percentage was pretty high. I think Skyler did a good job putting the ball in play. The nature of their defense, they played way off. So the big plays that we were able to get last week, those plays weren't available this week. So when we play teams like this, we got to do a good job of putting the ball in play, and I think we did that. Defensively, had another shutout in the first half. I think we all are a little disappointed in giving up some of those plays and the amount of points that we did in the second half. Teams are going to score. There's a lot of good players out there that are going to do that. We got to learn how to handle that. So special teams once again I thought was solid. Continue to make strides on that. So good to be 2-0. Our goal is to be 2-0 after this at this point in the season. We are. Take some questions.
Running game seems like it's still trying to get some traction. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Running game's trying to get some traction. 172 yards. 100. Where were we at? Yep, 172 yards. About 4 yards a carry. Just pretty average.
Are you happy with the state of the running game at this point in the season?
I'm very happy with it. When teams try to take away the run, then and if we're going to do nothing, if we're going to just try to get some negatives right here after a victory, then I'm going to take some other questions. But there's going to be a whole bunch of things that we're going to go back and look on the film and say that we need to do a better job of. It's week 2. We're a work in progress.
Were you happy with the intermediate and shorter passing game?
Very much so, which was a completely different game plan than what it was a week ago. This was pretty much the game plan going into that game, and we had to adjust it based on the fact that they outnumbered us in the box, which is why we had more big plays. This team was going to play way off of us and make us take our time going down the field, which I thought we did okay at.
Dana, when did you know that Barlow wouldn't be playing, and how did you think?
He felt pretty good this morning. Probably could have went. We just made the decision, it's a long season. Thought Al Benton played really good last week. So by having depth and having a guy like Al that played so good last week, it allowed us to do that. That's gonna be beneficial over the course of the season. So if this would have been a little higher profile game, Jared probably would have played. He's going to leave it all out there in the field no matter what. But we're going to need him. We're going to need him healthy for the year. Going into a bye week especially, we want to get him 100% healthy for Maryland.
And John DePoma?
Same thing. He's been fighting a back thing. He actually felt better today, but he hadn't snapped all week. So could have put him out there if we needed to, but we'll get him healthy as well.
What's the secret to what Skyler's doing as far as starting his career with no interceptions in 5 games now, 6 games?
Bob, you're not trying to jinx him now, are you?
I was going to say that, but I had to ask it anyway.
It's the first thing I said to Mike and Mike over here. I mean, it's why I bought into him in the offseason. Looking back at the turnover percentage that he did in all his snaps as a sophomore was better than anybody I've ever coached. The lack of turnovers. Had 1 turnover in 5.5 games now. But that was the number one thing with me wanting to go with him. He does a great job of taking care of the ball. It's disappointing we didn't get 2 turnovers defensively after how many we got last week and 5 last week. Yeah, 0 today. That's kind of disappointing. But the fact that offensively we continue to take care of it is good. He's a big part of that. Will did a good job when he was in there taking care of the ball. You know, a lot of this run game stuff that we're doing it increases the likelihood of that ball being on the ground. Anytime you read things and stick it in there and out and in, it takes a lot of work. We've committed to it, and both those guys are doing a good job with it.
How satisfying is it to be able to run in some of your younger guys and see them have success on the field?
Yeah, it's huge, and this is the second week in a row that we've been able to do it. I was a little disappointed in giving up those points in the third quarter because we would have been able to put more people in there defensively if that wouldn't have been the case. So it's always good to play those guys, you know. So getting Will some snaps and some of those other guys, and you know, receiver-wise, we committed to doing it earlier than that. They played a lot in the second quarter, first quarter, second quarter, can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not trying to jinx this, I promise, but if you look back at last year, kickers didn't miss field goals against you. You couldn't recover a fumble that you caused, but their kickers did miss a bunch. You're recovering your own fumbles in the end zone now. Does it feel better? Does it help at all knowing that maybe the bounces are at least starting to come your way?
It's just football. I've been doing it long enough to know that's it's contagious. You got to have the mentality that you're going to make your own breaks. Our team is pretty confident right now. Veteran group who it's important to them. So that mentality creates your own breaks. So, you know, if you think that way, and you act that way, and you live that way, then it can be pretty contagious, which I think is happening right now.
Even with that though, I mean, the mentality doesn't have anything to do with the 4th and 1 and the guy just, you know, dropping a pitch or the quarterback last week slipping and falling on a cut.
Yeah, I think it has everything to do with it.
Do you?
I do. I mean, you know, you need the ball to bounce your way at times, but I think if you have the mentality of making your own breaks, that's the only way it can happen.
Well, two punts inside the 5
Big
and
time.
14 points.
Yeah, I don't know how long are those things. You average about 50 yards a kick with both of them inside the 5.
Yeah.
A third punt as well. He looked good. Those are 2 great punts.
I think they resulted in 14 points for you too.
Anytime you get them backed up like that, the percentage of them scoring is very low. So that's probably the best thing that he does. I mean, he really does a good job with that. He works hard at it. He's got a good spin on the ball, a good backward spin to where it hits. A lot of times it's going sideways or backwards.
And a couple times when you were at tempo, it looked like you ran a play. It was successful, especially some of the wide passes to the wide receiver. Came right back and ran it again. Is that a thing where Skylar knows what you're going and he's getting right to it?
Yeah, if it works, do it again. I've always had that mentality from an offensive perspective. I'm not one of these guys that gives the defense enough credit to where you did it once and it worked, it's not going to work again. I don't believe that way. So if it works and it looks good, then you can plan on us coming right back to it.
Have you ever run it something more than a couple times in a row?
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember what I did here in this game. I can probably tape it. I got to go back and look at it. Short-term memory.
How will you work this off week now?
Recruiting, we always have a normal day tomorrow, come back, you know, get the game over with as soon as we can. Again, there's just going to be a bunch of things that we can look at that we can learn from. So a normal Sunday tomorrow, day off Monday. We'll start game prepping for Maryland on Monday. We'll work on Maryland Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll get a pretty good game plan together. You know, utilize the weekend for recruiting. We'll get out and recruit all over the country on Friday and Saturday. Then back to work on Sunday. You know, Maryland plays South Florida on this upcoming Saturday, so we'll come in that Sunday and that Monday and finish up the game plan prior to a normal week.
You probably didn't want to do a lot with the pass rush last week because their offense. Was it similar today, or is it maybe not where it needs to be quite yet?
It didn't look good. Did we get to it one time?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it looked bad. It looked bad to me out there. We were getting no pressure. You know, we'll have to talk to Gibby about, you know, the blitzes and stuff like that, what was happening. I thought we were pretty lethargic on defense, to be honest with you.
Did they do anything offensively that you didn't expect? Anything that was a surprise?
Not at all. I mean, he's a good quarterback. I mean, he's experienced. He's a 4th-year senior, been a team captain for 3 years. He's got a big arm, you know. Had a couple of good-looking receivers. That slot was good. 13 was good. 82 was good. They're going to win some ball games now. I mean, their offense is a very good offense.
Dana, I think Skylar had 3 incompletions at halftime. He was 17 for 20. All 3 were on red zone throws. I know that Shelton had the close call. Is there anything you can do differently in the red zone? Early?
Well, gosh dang you guys, man. You get anytime anything's an issue, you guys just beat it like a dead horse. The first 2 we sputtered. Shelton dropped the ball. I can pinpoint play calls. There's red zone. It's hard to score. I mean, our goal is 66%. We need to score in the red zone. Today we scored 66% touchdowns in the red zone. We were 6 for 6, 4 of them were touchdowns, and 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken, I think is what it was. And 2 of them were field goals. So that's about where we're going to be. It's hard to score touchdowns in the red zone. That's everybody's goal in the red zone. Don't panic. Make them kick a field goal. If we're about 66%, it's going to be one of the national leaders. So, last year we're at 42%. I think we overall improved on it a little bit. Need to continue to get better at that, and it will be a point of focus. And if you please quit talking about it so it won't become an issue. Deal?
Thanks, Coach.
All right, see y'all.